Hey guys, alright, so now it's time to get started with InDesign, and our first project is the calendar. So let's go ahead and get started. I already have InDesign open, so if you do not see InDesign on your desktop, just go to Start, and in Windows 10 you should see InDesign right next to like Illustrator. Okay. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is go to Edit, go down to Preferences, and go up to Units and Increments, and make sure we are in inches horizontally and vertically. Make sure we have inches selected there. Okay, if not, go ahead and change it and click OK. And now we're ready to go. So we go up to File, we go to New. We're always going to be working in Document. And now we can set up our document. So we want default, we're in Print, and it says number of pages. Well, number of pages we need is 13. All right, we need a cover page and 12 months. And then we want to select landscape for your orientation. And then we'll go ahead and keep the gutters and definitely want the margins at 1/2 inch. So we're good there. Go ahead and click OK. And now my project will populate. And if I go over to pages, here you can see I have all 13 of my pages. Okay. Notice that I also have a layers panel, just like in Illustrator and Photoshop. The things I do want you guys to notice is swatches. Notice the limited swatches that we have. Now there's a way to add more swatches, but we'd have to go under scripts and go out to the internet and download free scripts and stuff to get larger color palettes. We're not going to do that. But one of the things I wanted to notice you guys is the difference in softwares. So InDesign is a layout software, whereas Illustrator and Photoshop are graphics softwares where you are manipulating, creating new graphics, that type of thing. And in InDesign, you're basically taking things that are already created and laying them out in a nice, pleasing manner, right? So that's what this is all about. All right. So your calendar. You guys have several different ways you guys can make your calendar. It's totally up to you. I'm just going to show you 2 of the different ways that people use mostly, and then there's different variations between the 2. Okay, and so you can vary it however you guys want. So the first thing is, in your rulers, just like in Illustrator, you can click and drag out a guideline. All right, so here's this guideline here. I'm going to grab this. Delete that, bring out my guideline, and I need that to be 4 1/4. Here we are. Check out my Y. I'm on 4 1/4. So if I want to split this evenly, so I can have a nice picture here and my grid here, I can do so. You guys can have any type of variation in between, and then I'll show you what it looks like if you want the entire thing to be the grid. All right. So first thing is we got to put a table in here. So we go up to Table, we create Table, and here guys, the advanced features is this. We could go in to create a new table style, and from here we could do a lot of changing on what we're trying to do here. All right, we could go to Basic, we could go to customizing this whole thing up, we can do Table Setup, we can change the color of the borders, we can change the colors of the rows ahead of time if you know, of the columns. All right, we can even change the different types of fills. So you could completely customize your grid if you wanted to. All right, I'm not really going to work on that right now. I'm going to show you guys something else. All right, so first thing is we need 7 body rows. We need 7 columns, right? We have 7 days of the week. Our rows are going to be our numbered weeks. And then our header row. Okay, once we got that, go ahead and click OK. And now I have the grid tool, and it's just going to snap up here. I don't even have to really get that close. It's just automatically going to snap to that location for me. And then it's going to snap to those 2 locations for me. And here you go. Now I have the starting of my grid. So a lot of people, first time is they're going to go ahead and put like the month in here. Now you guys could type the month up here in a text box, or you could type it big. There's a lot of different things you can do. But generally speaking, a lot of people when they're doing their months, is they're going to basically take this row, they're going to select it, and they're going to do what we call is merge the cell. Okay, and now you can use your type tool and then you could type in. Okay, so let's say maybe this was January. Okay, now I can go ahead and I can select January. Oh, I selected the whole, I just want January. Here we go. And now from here, guys, I can go ahead and start changing a lot of the attributes. So maybe I want like a 24 font. Maybe I want this centered. Some people might like it lined clear across, centered up, right justified, left justified, center justified. I mean, it's really up to you what you guys are looking for. Okay. The other things I'd like to show you guys is like how to space this text out. So there's different ways that you can space this text. And so if I go up to my type tool and I go to character, here you guys can see a lot of the different attributes that I can change. So for example, this one is height, this one is width, so maybe I want this to spread out. Watch closely what happens to the text. Alright, so it's just spreading out. Okay, if I can maybe put in a value of like 250, hit enter. Now you can see how my text is spreading out. Maybe you guys want to spread that out. So definitely the things that you guys can play with there. Another thing is when you guys come up here and select the text, you can change the let's go up in here. Here we go. Alright, so all I did was I switched from my character formatting control and my paragraphing formatting control, and now I can change like the fill of my color. So maybe I want January to be in this little icy blue. I'll deselect it so you guys can see that. Okay, reselect it, and then I can change the stroke. Alright, so I can put a stroke on here if I want. Maybe put it like a white stroke on there. Something like that. Okay. Now the next thing is putting in your days of the week. So we could go ahead and put in Sunday, Monday, etc., etc., right? And then maybe I don't want that to be so big right when I'm done. Maybe I want this to be, you know, a larger size font. Maybe I want that to be like 18. Alright, something like that. Maybe I don't want that to be so big there. And so what I did was I just got this little arrow and then I clicked and dragged up. And now you can see that it doesn't, my whole grid though moved up. So now what I want to do is I want to click here. I want to hold down the shift key so all of the other cells stay the same. And there you have that. Okay, and then I can just continue on. Okay, the other thing I want to show you guys is the grid itself. Okay, when I select the entire grid, oops, let's try that again. Click and drag. Notice that I'm doing this with the type tool. Alright, so the type tool is going to basically highlight and do a lot of different things compared to what like your selection tool or your direct selection tool will do. So here I got the grid select, and here I look up here and it's just telling me right now the only thing that I'm going to change is the border of my grid. So what if I want to change the entire color of the grid? Okay, well, I need to make sure that all lines that are going vertical are selected, okay, and then all lines going horizontal are selected. And when I do that, then I can go in and I can change the color. So let's say I'm just going to do a green so you guys can see that. Maybe bump it up just a little bit and then deselect, and now you guys can see that the grid has completely changed. The green, not up here because I did not select that. Alright, so you need to make sure that you select everything that you want to change when it comes to formatting. So I'm just going to hold down the shift key here. Okay, so this is one style that you guys can do, and you guys can do any type of variation of. So on this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab the frame tool. Anytime you're bringing in a picture or an image, you want to use the frame tool. Okay, it just works a lot easier, and it's a lot easier to use when you guys are trying to bring in images. And just like Illustrator, you do the same thing. Okay, so now I have my frame where my picture is going to go in. I'm going to go to File, I'm going to go to Place, and I'm going to go to find those pictures that I have saved to use. So now the theme, it's up to you. If you guys want to do beaches, if you want to do like a sports theme, maybe you guys want to do like, I don't know, maybe like a holiday theme. There's a lot of things that you guys can do. It's up to you, okay, what you guys are planning on doing. Alright, so here I have all these pictures saved. Maybe I'm going to do a sports theme. Okay, so I'm going to double click on my bears here. And now I have my image in that frame. But I don't like the way it's proportionately, how it fit in that frame. And if you come over here, we have options. If I hover, this one says fill frame proportionately and fit content to frame. These two right here are the ones that you're going to use the most. The other ones, you can try them out, but just simply click, and there you can see that it's going to edit my photo and get it how I want. And this one looks more like the actual photo that I use, so this is the one that I'm going to keep here. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is maybe you guys want to lower the opacity. Okay, maybe you don't want it quite so vibrant. Maybe you want like a little bit of a fade to it, and you can do that by coming up in here, and this is the opacity button, and you can select this and then change that. Okay, and where that really works really well is if you guys want like another image behind your grid, and I'll show you that just real quick to show you what that looks like. So again, you want to make sure you got that frame tool selected. I'm going to click and drag out another frame. Alright, there's the frame. File, Place, and then I got to go find that image. I really don't have a really good image, I guess. Let's do Bora Bora. Screw it. I'm just going to put Bora Bora. Okay, here's Bora Bora. Doesn't fit, so something like this. I think that looks a little bit more natural. Come down to here, hit the opacity. I'm going to drop that way down. Guess I didn't have it selected. Let's try that again. There we go. Drop that way down. Now notice how I dropped it down, but my grid still looks like it's fuzzy, right? Well, that's that whole layers problem, guys. Front to back, back to front. In your layers panel, here I can see Bora Bora. Here I can see January. The grid, if I take it away, there it is. I just need to take Bora Bora, slide it down below January, and it pops open to the top. Alright, makes that look vivid. See that? Now, so I'm going to go to a different page and show you guys a different layout. Now, the other one that I was telling you about, what some people like, a whole grid. Okay, so if I go up to my table, create my table, I need still the same, 7, 7, and 1. Click OK. And I can drop a grid in here and make it the entire size. Okay, maybe I want this one to be my header row here. I can merge that. And then I can type in the month. Again. Alright, slide those up a little bit closer there for my days of the week. Notice how my grid moved up. Hold down the shift key, click and drag, slide it down, and all the other cells stay proportionate. Okay, that's how you do that. And then I can just simply click, tab over, type in my days of the week, or my numbered days of the week, sorry. I can do my grid. So again, maybe I want an entire image across this. Alright, something like that. Place. Maybe I was planning on doing like a holiday theme. Alright, so like themes of the month. So we'll do this thing here. fill it. All right, so